have flowers, sugar, and tea. Oh, no, no, no. So they gave to those old families. This is Archie Roach at my kitchen table with another series, another YouTube series. And this series we'll be talking to young up-and-coming First Nations singer-songwriters and performers. And I'm very, very pleased to announce that our first performer, our first singer-songwriter, is a Yorta Yorta woman by the name of Allara Briggs Pattison. And her actually, so I'd just like to introduce Allara. How are you, Allara? Are you good?
Hey, Uncle Archie. Yeah, I'm good today. How are you?
That's good. You look well. You look great.
It's just the makeup and the lighting.
Yeah. Look. So yeah, it's just going to be talking about, like, I suppose, what you listen, or your first influences, I suppose, or musical influences back in the day. Yeah, and how you got started playing music, and what, when you first got interested. So we'll kick off with, and I suppose what you listened to, or what your influences were when you're a bit younger.
Yeah, true. Okay, well, I definitely was like a sad girl preteen, listening to heaps of Casey Chambers and like Missy Higgins. Like love the country and folk. Yeah, I heard your stuff all the time. Was always playing. Mum always had your records going since an early age, so that's funny. Not funny, weird. I don't know why I'm being weird now. Okay, cool. Everything's fine. um, what else did I listen to? I reckon Mum was playing like Christina New and No Fixed Address, and yeah, and then yeah, coming into my like more formative adult years, I listened to a lot more soul, so I kind of discovered, I discovered like more new soul and soul kind of going into uni and like learning electric bass more. But then, yeah, definitely more jazz kind of stuff later, and definitely more like bluesy country stuff earlier.
Right. Oh, that's interesting, because I remember when um, you started playing, when you played with us, the shows that you did, which is yeah, and I because a lot of my stuff sort of incorporates all sorts of genres, I suppose, or styles, and it was good that you had that background.
Amazing. Yeah, that was such an amazing time getting to play bass with you, and that definitely helped my connection like for black music, like Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander music, because before that, like I'd only done a little bit here and there with other Aboriginal artists, so that was a really important milestone for me getting to play with you, because I got to meet Nancy Bates, and I got to just be so much more exposed to the storytelling, and how you as well yarn up in between songs. And I've definitely taken the part of what you do and tried to incorporate that into my live performance as well.
Right. So when did you first think that you might like to start playing music, or play music? Was that earlier when you were listening to music, or was it later on, when you first thought about playing music, or got interested in playing music yourself?
For me, it's always been a part of my life. My dad played guitar when I was growing up, and also tuba and trombone, and all these other instruments. It was a jack of all trade, which I think I maybe come under. Like, I'm not an amazing singer, I'm not an amazing double bass player, but put it all together and it's a bit special. But yeah, Dad was always playing, and we used to go watch him do the marching band brass stuff. And yeah, so I started on guitar a little bit first for a couple of years, and then I did like trumpet for 2 weeks in year grade 6 or something, grade 5, and then trumpet was a bit too small. I couldn't quite get the sound, so I played euphonium, which is like a small tuba. So like kind of taking after Dad a little bit in the brass. And my sister was playing cornet as well. And
Wow,
Mum just
wow.
sang along to the radio, but she does have a beautiful voice as well. Yeah, and then I took up the electric bass. I thought I got sick of dragging the UFO to school. Had to walk to school with this giant case, UFO case, and was like a little person. Not little did I realize I would be still like carrying a giant double bass like 10, 20 years on. But yeah, and then I just picked up the electric bass, and then naturally fell into double bass as well a few years later from a teacher kind of suggesting, oh, why don't you play double bass? And I was like, yeah, why don't I? And then yeah, the rest is history. Studied music, and I can never imagine my life without playing music regularly. And so yeah, I've had a bit of an injury on my shoulder the last month or so, and so that's been like really, really devastating. And yeah, actually, it was something I'd love to ask you. You know, how you do it. Have you dealt with injury before, or like burnout, and like how you kind of go about like keeping your spirits happy and good, even if you kind of maybe haven't been able to play or sing?
Yeah, I remember wrecking my hand one time. I couldn't play guitar at all. So I had to have someone come along and play guitar for me, which was interesting. Because you know, when you play yourself, you understand. You know, you've got your own rhythm, and that even though you know people can follow you, it's still, you know, you still have your own. What would you say? Your own way of playing, and how you related that with your songs and your music. But that was we got around that. Uh, yeah, but you know, touring and well, I suppose at the early age, I couldn't the attention. I suppose I wasn't prepared for that, and that was a bit tough for me because you know, I'm usually a quiet fella, shy, and that was a bit hard to deal with. But now it's a lot easier to do that. But yeah,
What do you think helped make it easier? Was it just time and experience?
no, I realised I think what it was. Yeah, why I played music in the first place is because I loved it. I loved playing music, and that had to be the focus on the love that I have for what I do. And I don't know it might sound a bit small, but a little thing, but isn't it? It's quite a big thing, really, when you realise that you know uh, why am I doing this? You know, is it for attention? Is it to be you know to make a name for myself? And I said, well, you know, what's more important is I love to do it. I love to play music. I love to create. And as an artist, as artists, you and me, that's the thing that drives us, that creative spirit.
Yeah. Have you felt that you've had times when you've been playing kind of the same songs for a while and feel a bit like kind of stagnant, or a bit like stuck? And like, how do you kind of manage going from writing to performing and back, so that you've got like trying to find like a balance of a mix of both?
Yeah, I notice a lot. You know, it's a relationship too with your music and your songs, and you know, once you start to get them out there, and they're no longer sort of you know songs that you sing in private or they're just yours, you know, or maybe families, you know, and I know you realise that other people, you know, are there as well, and they're a part of your music, or they listen to your music, and however they interpret your songs, or that is, you know, I've never said no. Well, it's not, you know, that's not what it really means. So I leave that interpretation up to them in my songs and that, because I think that's important, rather try and say, well, actually that's wrong, and it just takes away that, I suppose, that relationship they might have with your song and music. So it's also, yeah, I don't know. There's songs that I don't really get sick of playing. It's just it's like, I don't know. It's like you go to another place each time you play a song, and I really don't believe that each time I sing a song, I really actually think that it's different, in a sense that wherever you are, whatever room you're in, or state, or whoever the people are, you know, it's your music, I suppose, adjusts, or you adjust to that space, and it's each song is that you sing, and no matter how many times you perform it, it's different each time you do. That's Anyway. That's what I've found. Anyway, that's what I thought.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I don't know. When did you? Yeah, when you were playing with us,
Mm.
was you were you writing then? Writing music?
No, no, I wasn't writing. I mean, like I'd done a little bit of kind of just I was playing electric bass in an original band, in like a soul kind of funk band, um, called Up Up Away, and so I was like writing all my own bass parts for that. So I was still being creative, and I was playing as well in in an Irish band as well. So another original band, but I didn't really start writing any lyrical content or stuff that was designed for me to play kind of solo, or that was like around my own storytelling until about May 2017. So it wasn't until after my father passed away that I started writing my own stuff, because I went into a bit of a hole, because I was playing so much. I was playing with you guys, and then all these different bands, and then I got a job at the State Library and was doing some archival kind of like research stuff with Auntie Maxine Briggs, and then I ended up getting like I was very busy doing that work, and then I felt I wasn't playing enough music, so it was just like a big kind of like turmoil of like balance between like trying to make enough money and also like doing music. And then I just ended up working out that I could do solo, I could play solo, and make just enough money to live. And I was finally at a stage where I was ready to tell a story. I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of who I am. I didn't really have those experiences or that understanding as much until I really played with you and met Nancy, because I hadn't been able to kind of have that connection with anyone. Like through uni, I was just a bass player, you know. I was just like, oh, this is what I'm doing. I'm just playing bass, and I never ever thought that I would have the opportunity to have my voice heard. And I think having the role models like you and Nancy, and even like the Deans, Yorta Yorta and Robert K. Champion, are some of those people who showed me, oh, I can actually do stuff. And I met Alice Skye as well, in those kind of like formative times when I was like, I'm an Aboriginal artist. I'm not just a bass player. Like I'm an Aboriginal artist. And so yeah, then I started writing, and I started writing about my experiences of identity and my struggle to understand who I am, and yeah, all of that. So then I got the loop station because I find it really difficult to sing and play at the same time. and I really love the textures and the layers that I can get from looping with the double bass. Um, it's been a few years now, though. It's been about three and a bit years, and I'm starting to feel more too alone on stage with the bass, and I'm craving that connection again with other musicians. And so I'm wanting to kind of like expand the band and like not have all that responsibility on myself, so that I can really focus on that.
I think that's good. What you've shared with us today. Uh, so we were probably wondering if maybe I know that we want to listen to something. There's something I was talking to Christine the other day. I knew when she played. So she played something of this song that I suppose you're talking. What is that from? Where did you get that from?
This,
There's something that you've got out there already.
yeah, maybe rekindled systems.
Yeah, that one. But was
Yeah.
something? How would Christine get a hold of that? How did she get a hold of that?
Oh, so that's available online, and that's like out as a single, Spotify and iTunes and Bandcamp, all those places. So yeah. Oh, it's on AMRAP, the radio one as well, where you can put your music for radio stations to download.
Oh, it's good if you let people know that, so that when
That's really
people watching
lovely.
this, they can do that as well. But you said because you've hurt your shoulder, you're not able
Yeah.
to play properly today. But you might be able to give us that song.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. And like something, I guess with so much time in lockdown and like working from home and the studio, like the double bass is a really awkward instrument to like get up in front of a laptop screen or whatever, because it's just so big it doesn't fit on screen. And you kind of miss you kind of miss seeing like all the beauty of and the grandeur of it. But this piece, I kind of wrote. It was a mix between like a spoken word piece and a song, and so my music definitely kind of crosses across like over from spoken word and singing. And so yeah, the times that I have done it just with the vocal alone has been really, it's a different, like you were saying, like it's a really different experience. And I think that's something that I really enjoy doing, is giving the audience and also for myself like the opportunity to have a different feeling and experience of the song each time. But I'll just have a drink of water and then I'll drop Rekindled Systems.
So what before you get into it, what just give us a little background on maybe what influenced this particular song.
This song has a lot of different a lot of different stories raveled into kind of like one, I guess, story of my experience and how I kind of wanted to introduce myself as an artist, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so it's got like a mix of kind of identity, for me, working out my identity and what my role in the world is as a Yorta Yorta person, and also kind of shares some of my like my fears about the world and my hopes and my dreams for like a better future for everyone. And yeah, there's some little bit of language in at the end, Yorta Yorta, Dominini Elka, and that is, it's a dedication for, translates to my dear child. So it's a translation for the children of this generation and the next, for a better world with less racism and protection of country and all of the things that are core beliefs and values within our culture. So yeah, that's what the song is kind of about. But yeah, are you ready for it?
No, it's important that we heard that. It's beautiful, actually, what you said about it. And Cookie was, yeah, we're ready. And whenever you are, Lara.
Strong connections with these ancient lands, descending bloodlines for centuries. Mussels, fish, birds, berries, yams, our people used to feast. Cooking in old ovens under great trees who've watched our life cycles, custodial in style. on the Dangala riverbanks, crystal clear, clean, free. From Carp, that muddy bastard, he was never invited. Surveyors marking acres and acres, missionaries and Jesus with religious takeover, crown sort of saying, this land is free for the taking, so take it. But first, he needs his irrigation systems and the mass scare of the blacks here. Assimilation schemes devised to divide and dismantle our song lines while our forefathers died on frontier lines. We are survivors, thanks to our ancestors, reviving our song lines with fingers in the dirt. To decipher tribal incantation from files taken to record a dying race within an archive of 1,000 last kings and natives' true trepidation all the while. I wear my soul on my sleeve, peace. When they wonder about my colour, tell 'em. Listen with your ears, it's under my skin, and listen with your hearts. I'm not here on a whim, it's flowing through my arteries, from my crown to my feet, in connection with country. I'm seeing faces in the leaves of the trees, from the scars on my soul to the hope on repeat. From my toes in the mud to the tears my eyes weep. We are survivors, thanks to our ancestors, reviving our song lines with fingers in the dirt. We are survivors, we are our ancestors. We're dancing our song lines with spiritual self-worth. Together with Mother Earth we stand. She always was, always will be Aboriginal land. In the past, in the present, in the future. Let's put our heads down, enjoy some humour. Let's work hard to protect our mother. Let's work hard to practice our culture. Let's work hard for what's most important. Dorma Nini Yolka's distant future. Thank you.
Wow. Stop it. No, that's fantastic. That blew me away. It's just so, when you listen to that with instruments or loops or anything, it's just so evocative and so powerful. What can you say? Yeah, anybody listening and watching this today, you know, if you weren't moved and blown away by that, then you're a statue. I thought that was just amazing.
Thank you so much for having me.
No,
It's a total honour to be here with you.
no, that's it comes a time in your life. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and it comes a time when you sit down. That's why I love. You're the first cab off the rank for this series, but I tell you what, I'm looking forward to talking to other people as well, other young fellas as well, about their music, and I couldn't have asked for anything better than what you've given us today. It was just so profound, just beautiful. There's beauty in it, as well as rebellion.
Always.
And everything. It's wow. Thanks for that.
Well, I get to say, stop it! I put makeup on for one time in my life. It made me cry.
What can you say? It's it just makes you happy and proud that, like I say, there's going to come a time, not for a good while yet, but
Mm.
when I'm no longer doing this, and just to know that it's in the hands of people like yourselves to carry on. You know, it makes me feel good, and that I can leave peacefully. Yeah, so thanks for that today, Allara. Allara
Really.
Pattison Briggs, a young Yorta Yorta woman, and that's just one of her songs. Well, what can I say? That was a great episode with young Allara Briggs Pattison. So we're looking forward to our next episode with Rella Kelly Mansell and Martin Motlop. I saw them both over in Adelaide when we was over there last time. And yeah, that's going to be another great episode as well. So hope to catch us later in a while, crocodile. A big thank you to Creative Victoria and the Australia Council for the Arts for making this project possible. No. So they gave to those old families. I got flowers, sugar.